The year is 1374. Europe is a continent reeling. The Black Death, a horrifying plague, has swept through the land just a few years earlier. Millions lie dead. Those who survived live in fear, haunted by the memory of mass graves and the ceaseless ringing of church bells. The social fabric is torn, the economy is in shambles, famine stalks the land, leaving people weak and vulnerable. The Black Death was not just a physical plague, it was a psychological one. It shattered communities, destroyed families, and sowed the seeds of fear and distrust. People were desperate for answers, for someone or something to blame. In this atmosphere of despair and uncertainty, a new horror emerged: the dancing plague. Imagine a world where the very act of dancing, something usually associated with joy and celebration, becomes a terrifying symptom of a mysterious illness. This was the stark reality for the people of 14th century Europe. The dancing plague, also known as St. John's dance or St. Vitus's dance, was a social phenomenon unlike any other. It was a time when fear and superstition intertwined with a very real and terrifying medical mystery. The first whispers of this strange affliction arose in the town of Aachen, in what is now Germany. It began subtly. People, seemingly possessed by an unknown force, began to dance uncontrollably in the streets. Their movements were erratic, jerky, and uncontrolled, their faces contorted in expressions of pain and anguish. At first it was a curiosity, a strange spectacle that drew onlookers. But as the days turned into weeks and the number of dancers multiplied, fear began to grip the town. The dancing spread like wildfire, leaping from person to person, town to town, and eventually across Europe. The plague's path was erratic, appearing suddenly and then vanishing just as quickly. It struck without warning, affecting people of all ages and social classes. No one was immune to its strange power. The very air seemed thick with a sense of dread. The sight of the dancers, their bodies twisting and contorting in the throes of the plague, was enough to send chills down the spines of even the most hardened observer. This was not a dance of joy, it was a dance of despair. Eyewitness accounts from the time paint a chilling picture of the plague and its impact. One chronicler described the dancers as seized with a sudden madness and unable to control their movements. They danced for days, even weeks on end, without food or water until they collapsed from exhaustion. Some victims reported hallucinations, claiming to see demons or hear voices urging them to dance. Others screamed in agony, begging for help that never came. The physical toll on the dancers was immense. They suffered from blisters, bleeding feet, and dislocated joints. Many died from exhaustion, heart attacks, or strokes. The plague tore through communities, leaving behind a trail of shattered lives and unanswered questions. What caused this strange and terrifying affliction? Was it a curse, a punishment from God, or something else entirely? Section 4. Seeking answers in the storm theories and interpretations. The people of 14th century Europe struggled to make sense of the dancing plague. Some believed it was a curse sent by God or the work of the devil himself. Others blamed it on poisoned water or bad air. Still, others saw it as a form of mass hysteria, a manifestation of the fear and anxiety that gripped Europe in the wake of the Black Death. One prevailing theory suggests that the plague was caused by ergot poisoning. Ergot is a fungus that grows on rye, a staple grain in medieval Europe. Ergot poisoning can cause hallucinations, convulsions, and other symptoms that resemble those of the dancing plague. While this theory cannot fully explain all aspects of the phenomenon, it offers a plausible explanation for its physical effects. Section 5. Echoes in Time, the Legacy of the Dancing Plague.